new channel introduction. So, after I would say probably 8 to 9 name changes, we're going with the one and only Mithril Mind. Now, why is it named Mithril Mind? I'm a Lord of the Rings through and through nerd, so Mithril is basically it's a metal that is lighter and stronger than steel, but it's also just as tough. Um, so basically, Mithril Mind is like, strong mind, yada yada yada. But that's what we're going with. That's what I'm sticking with. If I hope J.R. Tolkien doesn't sue me. If this everything kind of blows up, I don't know. Probably not. It's probably not going to blow up. But that's what we're going with from now. But yeah, I just want to kind of like give like an overall organizational structure and like kind of like timeline in terms of like what I want this channel like to be about, and really like what I'm thinking about doing with this channel is it's just like more longer form sobriety videos. And for the first like 10 to 15 videos that I did in this channel, it was all like advice giving, and I don't want it to be like that anymore. Like I don't want it to be advice giving because I feel like that turns a lot of people off, especially too because I realized like what works for me might not work for someone else. So why would I feel like being like an expert or like feel like I have this like crazy knowledge in terms of like sobriety to tell people what to do when really like it might lead them down the wrong path. So going forward, one, more long form experience videos, and then two, I really want to tap into the streaming. So if I can get like a good platform, like I feel like no one's ever tapped into like the streaming. Like, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I feel like I do have a lot of experiences that could relate to and help a lot of people in terms of like, hey, if they're going through something, like let's do a live stream and call up. And not only does that like, it's like a ripple effect where it's like it doesn't just help the person who is struggling and calling in, like it can help people who are listening into the show, so I really want to kind of tap into that avenue going forward. But really, you know, the next I kind of want to do this thing too, where at the end of every weekly video, I kind of give like a little bit of like a preview to the next week's video topic. And we got Mithril Mine. That's what we're going with. And next week's video topic is going to be "To drink is to die." Now, I know this has been said a lot in like a lot of books, a lot of, like it literally is true for through and through like addicts like me. Like there's a story in the big book where the guy he like he wants to be a successful businessman, so like he's like I have to quit. So he like basically white knuckles through 25 years, and he gets to his late 50s, I believe, early 60s, and boredom gets him. He starts drinking again, and he immediately dies. And I know that's me. Like I would be dead within 6 months. Probably, you know what? Probably even sooner. Like probably like 3 months, because like everyone knows, like there is a point where drinking stops working, and you need to move on to something more numbing. And I know that would be me. Like I would, if I had a beer today, like tonight, I'd be dead within 3 months. Easy. 3 months easy. That it'd be over for me. I just wouldn't be able to handle it. I would go into overdrive for the next week. Probably lose my job. Probably lose everything. Um, and yeah, so I want to get into the intricacies and kind of like a more in-depth kind of video into like why that is, and then we'll go from there. And excuse me too for like being a little bit more not as fresh and not as accurate and not as what's the word sharp on camera. I'm still trying to get used to it again. I was getting used to it, but still, it's still very uncomfortable to be talking into a camera in a room alone. It's just still very uncomfortable for me. So I'm still working on it. I still say too much. I still say like too much, but I will get better. And then the next 2 week video, this is what the one I'm really excited about. I'm working on it right now. Is basically how addiction and Lord of the Rings tie in together, and how the One Ring is basically addiction, and how you will turn into Gollum. I turned into Gollum. A lot of people that you see who suffer from addiction turn into Gollum. And it's not just a physical ailment. Like, you see Gollum in the physical, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, like, duh. But people who look normal are actually Gollum inside. Like, they're literally Gollum inside. And that was me. Like, I was Gollum inside, but you just couldn't tell. And I want to kind of go through a video and kind of go in depth into like how that happens, and how you can avoid it, and how like you can kind of like see it in other people. It's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, so that's really like the video for this week. Just a little channel introduction. Mithril Mind. We're gonna do sobriety long form content. Maybe I'll sprinkle in some short form content. I don't really like short form because it's like you're almost trying to create brain rot, which I don't like, and I can't express the complexity of the ideas that I want to express in 30 or 60 seconds. Like, it's basically impossible. There needs to be context, there needs to be stories, there need to be experiences that are communicated in a way where it can help someone, and I just don't think I can do that right now in a 30 or 60 second video. It just is what it is. So that's what we're going towards for today. Like and subscribe if you can. I really want to get consistent with this in 2026. Like, we're gonna get it popping. Mithril Mind, a lot of the Lord of the Rings lore, and I just don't want this channel just to be about sobriety. I want it to be about life. So, yeah, like and subscribe. Like I said, and I'll catch you on the flip side. I'll catch you next week for next week's video. See ya.